These are your muscles when you're taking creatine, and these are your muscles when you're not taking creatine. You see, creatine is not a steroid. It is a natural substance that you can actually get from food, for example, red meat, or through supplementation. Now, it is also important to note that it is the safest, most researched supplement out there. In this video, I'm going to dispel all the creatine myths you might have heard, and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about it. First, let me quickly explain how it works. Our body's primary energy source that allows us to move and to live is called ATP. Now, our body can generate ATP using three different systems. The first one is the oxidation system, which uses fats for energy. The second one is the glycolytic system, which uses carbs or sugars for energy. And the third one is the phosphagen system, which uses something called phosphocreatine. And phosphocreatine is made out of phosphates and, you guessed it, creatine. That is exactly what creatine does. Our body uses it for energy, mainly in intense activities that last up to 10 seconds, like lifting heavy weights, sprinting, or more sport specific movements like jumping, for example. So, by supplementing creatine, your body will be able to perform better during these activities, again, up to 10 seconds, maybe 15 usually. And that's going to improve your performance. It's going to allow you to create a better training stimulus. Your training volume is going to increase, which will lead to progressive overload, and that's going to help you build muscle. So this is how creatine actually helps you build muscle. Not directly because it's some magic supplement, but it allows you to perform better and get more volume in. Now, the benefits of creatine are not instant. You do need to take it for a while in order to see benefits. And some people will tell you to supplement 3 to 5 grams a day, which is a pretty generic dosage. But to be honest, a 50-kilogram woman is not going to have the same creatine needs as an 80, 90-kilogram male. The correct science-backed dosage is actually 0.1 grams per kilogram of body weight. So if you weigh 80 kilograms like me, that's actually 8 grams per day. Me personally, I like to cycle on and off it, so I'll go through a whole tub, maybe wait a week because I got other things to do, and then go to the store and buy one again. But you don't really need to cycle it. That's just my personal preference. Some people like to do something that's called creatine loading, where you take up to 20 grams a day for 1 or 2 weeks, and then you scale down to 3 to 5 grams a day. And they do this in hopes of saturating their muscles with creatine a lot faster, which allows you to see a benefit faster. But to be honest, this is not necessary. It might take a little bit more time, maybe an extra week or two for you to see benefits without loading it, but you're still going to get the same benefits. And at higher dosages is where creatine can potentially make you bloated, which is one of the claims about creatine making you bloated. Well, at high dosages, like when you do something like loading, for example, which is not necessary, yes, it can bloat you, but otherwise it actually doesn't. Creatine increases the intracellular water, so the water inside of the cell. This is the kind of water retention that will make your muscle look fuller. So taking creatine actually makes you look a little bit bigger. Isn't that great? But it doesn't increase the water retention outside of the cell, the extracellular water, which is what normally causes bloating. So does creatine make you gain a little bit more weight? Yes, because again, it saturates your muscles with water. But does it make you bloated? No, unless you start taking too high of a dose. Everybody's stomach is going to react differently to that. Now, there's a lot of creatine forms out there. Which one should you take? The answer is creatine monohydrate. Anyone who tells you otherwise is just trying to get you to buy their creatine chloride or other forms they might be selling. To tell you the truth, creatine monohydrate is the most researched and has been proven to be the most effective of all forms. And funny enough, it's also the cheapest one to buy. Maybe that's why people are trying to get you to buy other forms. Finally, our brain also uses creatine, and recent research has been showing quite some promising results when it comes to improving your cognitive performance and your memory, especially after a night of bad sleep. And they're also starting to use it to enhance the cognitive health of people who have just suffered severe trauma, like a concussion, or hit their head during contact sports, like rugby or American football. Long story short, creatine is not a steroid. And in fact, it's probably the one supplement that everyone could use. Creatine will improve your performance when it comes to quick bursts of intense activity, up to 10, maybe 15 seconds, like sprinting or lifting heavy weights. It will allow you to improve your training volume or increase your training volume to help you build some more muscle. and see some results in the gym. It will temporarily increase your weight simply by holding more water in your muscles, but it's not going to make you bloated unless you take too much of it. The correct dosage is up to 0.1 grams per kilogram of body weight, and it can even help you boost your brain health. It doesn't really matter when in the day you should take it, after your workout, before, or in the morning. The important thing is that it's consistent and that you take it every day. Ultimately, that's going to be a lot more important than when you actually take the supplement. And of course, other than the muscle gains, it can also give you some brain gains. Hopefully, you now have a full understanding of how creatine works and why you should supplement it. And whenever someone tells you to stop taking it because it's a steroid, you now have the knowledge to take their ass to school.